podcast. As we begin to speak about current events, I'd like to introduce myself, Daron L. Wright, and my co-host.
And I am Kelley Williams-Bolar.
All right. So we're going to be discussing a whole host of items here in the weeks to come, and just want to start off with a few things here. Kelley, jump in at any given time, please.
Okay. First, let me tell the people about myself.
Please do.
I'm from Akron, Ohio. I work at a local high school. But I'm so happy to be with you tonight, Daron. This is awesome.
Right.
I hope this is a longevity of opportunities that can just grow from this point. So tonight, we're going to talk about something that's important to me, which is about sex trafficking. Since I work at a high school, some of the most important things to me is keeping our children safe in our communities. And right now, between, I think it's 2014 to within the last year, it's been over 1,000 sex trafficking events, if I can say that. And we've been able to get about $100,000 to try to lessen this situation with our young kids and our young teens. I think people need to know how sex trafficking comes about. It's a lot of times it's our youth, and they're troubled youth. They're not, the regular teenage children that's doing what they're supposed to do. A lot of these kids have trouble at home, their environment, and maybe it's rebellion. Maybe they're just running away from situations. It could be foster care. It's a lot of different scenarios that this is happening. This is why this is happening. And eventually, as we go on, this will not be my only time talking about this. We're gonna revamp. We're gonna come back around again, and maybe we can get people's input, like get people to call in, and they can tell me, their perspective on that. But I would like to give some stats. So, 86% is minorities, 35% is Caucasians in our communities. And like I said, it's over 100,000 cases, but within the last year or so, it's been $100,000 put into that to lessen that. So within the last year, the numbers have come down.
Okay. So there's been an increase, and we use the term sex trafficking. Let's kind of define sex trafficking. From my standpoint, I'm going back a few years here, when we use the term pimping. What's the difference between pimping and sex trafficking?
Well, let's see.
Is it synonymous, or is it just a different term?
I think this sex trafficking, they're taking these young people, mostly girls, but they take boys too, and they take them out of the country. They go into other parts of different countries where they're never seen again here. And they're just used in these other countries. And they have them captive where they're slaved. And they cannot leave these areas. They don't know where they're at.
The older pimping terminology is different because these individuals have no access to individuals, their family, when
That's
pimping
right.
was
They
occurring.
have when pimping was going down. I mean, they could
reach out to your kids.
They can still go home.
Okay.
Oh my. Okay. So, but right, they could still, have some access to maybe some people that they know a roundabout way. These are not pimps, and these are not like hoes, whores, however you want to put it. These are teens, these are minors, these are kids, and they are actually being captured and taken away. These people that are taking these kids are getting like a lot of money for one child, and then they ship them off, and then they're never seen again. So I'm really glad that within the last year, the numbers have gone down. But I wanted to talk about that, and I know that's like hitting heavy, the very first show. But I think people need to know, if they're going to listen in, I want people to look out for your kids, look out for your kids, and just always try to keep a hand on them more, and talk to our kids. That's what we need to do, is to talk to our children. And let them know what's going on out here. Don't let these girls just go and do what they want to do. I don't care how much they think they're independent. They still need to have structure. They still need to have your guardianship over them. So I wanted to talk about that.
Okay. And just, I'm hearing some differences. Again, going back to the pimping, where these are primarily adolescents. They're not around family anymore, and they're relocated, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Out of the country.
Okay. I know it's a big market for it. I watched that movie Traffic with
Yeah.
I watched that movie, so it's a big market for
Yeah, so and then Ohio, I'm not sure if I said that or not, but Ohio's like it was one of the top numbers. It was one of the top states that would get these kids, and they take them when they're at the lowest point, when they're mad at their folks or family,
Right.
and then they end up in places like strip places or whatever, and they're just loitering around there, and these people they're coming in for kill because they know that this is a kid and I can do what I want to do. I can manipulate them, kind of like a pimp. Absolutely. They got the people who capture these kids definitely have a pimp mentality.
Right.
So
Okay. All right, good information there. Good information there. Allow me to introduce myself as well. Daron Wright, also DJ D Rizzle here. So just excited about bringing a lot of good content here in the future regarding this program and just touching on a lot of different areas here. Good news here for one of our local hometown heroes, LeBron James. What he's doing here. There was an article in the paper today. You want to touch on that, Kelly, as well, with regards to some opportunities he's bringing here forward to us.
absolutely. Oh yeah, LeBron James. I read this morning that he is building houses for our kids from the I Promise School and probably extended from that point as well. For children who have unsettling homes, homeless shelters. I mean, he's just really coming back into our communities and really evolving and helping our kids, and that's what it's all about. And I'm just so excited, so proud to say that he is an Akronite, that he is from Akron, and that he is definitely giving back. I mean, you can't, what is there in life if you can't give back?
That's right.
So this is something that just not him. Yes, we're talking about LeBron James, but we all could give back in some sort of way. Like we all can pay it forward. We all can always do something to give back to our communities, our own. Don't ever think that you can't, because you can. Just think outside the box and research and find a way to give back. And LeBron is a case in point. Yeah, he got money. We all know he's super rich, right? But he also leads by example of just saying, hey, we can do this on our own.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to lobby yourself here. You got something that you're trying to get back to as well, right? What are you doing?
Oh, that's right.
Hey!
Yeah, I got my ebook coming out. I'm so excited.
Where can they find it at?
Okay, so
Shoot me a link. I'll put it on the website.
Okay, I will definitely shoot a link. I have I have a YouTube channel, and I just discuss current things that's going on, just like with my kids and stuff. And right now, I was really focusing on talking about how you can become a speaker. My ebook consists. I was able to work with former NBA players and work with former governors, and work with and people calling me from. I just came back from Chicago. I just spoke there at the college. And you know what? You would know what the college is, because my brother said they used to be really good in basketball, and now they're not. Or football or something.
Okay.
But it was Chicago. And I'm just really upset now that I can't remember that. But anyhow, so what I'm saying is that my ebook consists of me helping people learn how to speak in front of an audience. I've done things with the Bushes, and I've spoken in front of thousands of individuals, all the way down to just a room full of a few people. So it's gratitude to me, and I love to pay it forward to have an ebook and to show people how you can learn how to speak in front of a public, from even just as far as, being nervous, or, how do you build your audience, and how do you create revenue, and how do you get from doing it for free to honorariums to actually getting a great salary, and just telling your story. I have always been a person of telling your story. We all have our own unique story. Everyone does, and only you can tell it. So if you can build up the strength to say, I want to help other people, and I want to help other people by telling my story through your trials and tribulations, then that in itself, how can I say it? That in itself is gratitude to you. It's therapeutic for you. It's therapeutic for the individuals that's listening. And so that is what my book is based around, is how to become a great speaker and how not to be nervous in front of a crowd, an audience, and how to build up your confidence. And how, like I said, I just give you different scenarios, and also to use social media, because you need to use social media to let people know what you're doing, so you can, obviously get more gigs. And so it's an awesome thing. Now, it is for free. But what I do say, and what I do ask of people is, because everybody has their own, money. Everybody has their own finances where they might say, I can't afford that.
Right.
So that's why I'm not charging. But what I am asking is for donation. If you have $1, send me that through PayPal. If you want to donate $10, send that through PayPal. It doesn't matter. I just want people to get this book packed with good information and all the things that I've done. Like I said, working with former, NBA players, governors, former governors, the Bushes, everything. So I think it's awesome to be able to give someone else the information.
You're almost going to have to convert that to an audio book here, because we're challenged here a lot of times. We want to read even though it's 20 pages. So just something to consider.
Okay.
Yeah. Small leak there. So.
Yeah. I'll do audio. I don't know how to do it. I'll find somebody to do it.
All right. I'm sure Point Blank Productions can assist you with that.
Oh,
there, right?
yeah. Okay. All right. Point Blank Productions.
That's it. All right. Good stuff. Voting. We've got to discuss voting. This is a very, very weighing subject for me, and allow me to explain. Years ago, I used to teach financial literacy in classes at Oriental House. So I would go in and work with individuals who were convicted of misdemeanors and felons, and would discuss how to get themselves prepared for once they're released. Unfortunately, a lot of times, I would give them the information, and then we go into some other dialogue, and we talk about something as simple as voting. And their response was, Mr. Wright, it don't matter. My vote don't count. I said, man, all this conversation we've been having, and that's your response. So with regards to voting, first of all, let's discuss if in fact you've been incarcerated or had a felony, how do you become a voter in the state of Ohio? And every state is different. In the state of Ohio, once you're released, it's as easy as registering with the Board of Elections. It's that simple. Once you're off of release, you don't even have to be off of paper, so to speak. Once you're released, you can go in and get your rights reestablished as far as the voting. But we are facing hard times from the standpoint of people not understanding what occurs if they do not vote. A lot of individuals are not familiar with the nuances of voting regulations, different states, what they have to go through in order to vote, and not even how we as a ethnic community has to deal with those type of things. So I just want to make certain the individuals know, obviously you won't be able to vote tomorrow if you're not registered, but how to go about being able to vote, and just talk about some of the topics we got coming up. Of course, we've got 6 individuals running for Akron School Board. You only choose 3. We've got some judge races, and we've got some city council races. What's your thoughts on some of those things out there here, Kelly?
Well, personally, just from experience, make sure you vote in your district, because if you don't, you'll go to jail. I was real close.
All right.
So all that's right. First and foremost. Okay?
That would be something, yeah.
And then, I ditto everything that you said, is that, make sure you guys have the information. Yes, you can vote. Don't ever think that your vote does not count. Find out the information that you need to find out so that you can be a part of the community. You can do what you need to do to get these proper people in place. Especially some of these prosecutors. I mean, we need to get some of these people out of here. I'm not going to say no names right now.
Right.
But somebody needs to go. She got too many terms.
Well, and again, and this is the funny part about it. and I think I had a conversation with a gentleman here a couple of days ago. So you've got individuals that are going to continually commit crimes. If that's what you do, I'm fine with that. However, each crime you commit, you're in front of a judge. And each judge has their own way of handling that case. So I would rather be someone in front of a judge that has been voted in. I have a drug case that I'm in front of them, and they have individuals that they are familiar with that may have drug issues or work the levy, drug reform and things of that nature, versus someone who does not have anything to do with drugs, never had anyone in their family that had any drug issues, and now you receive the maximum sentence.
Because there's many cases like that.
It's thousands of cases like
yes, right here in Summit County, there's cases where a young lady, I knew about this one young lady, she got in trouble, she was 18, just because she was in the same environment. And she's still in jail right now. And her kids she had 2 children. At the age of 18, she had 2 children. Her kids are like in high school now. And she's still in a penitentiary, and she had nothing to do with that. So, you know, you got to think about the common sense of justice. Is this justice or is this injustice? What kind of justice is this? Is this our justice? I mean, what is going on here that these young people are getting the book thrown at them, and these particular judges are seasoned?
Oh yeah,
they're seasoned, and this is what you consider fair. Like, what is just and what is unjust? So that's just my perspective. You know, I just think that some of these judges, they've overzealous prosecution, and it needs to be dealt with. Like, we need some revision in these courtrooms, and we need more of us up on the stand.
That's exactly right.
We need more if we're going to be, you know, dealt with being sentenced. I'd rather be sentenced to somebody look like me than somebody that don't, because the one that don't, she don't care.
That's exactly
she
right.
going home, or he going home. And then you got the juries, you got
that's a whole nother. Let's talk about jury selection. So the other thing is that there's individuals that believe, I don't want to sit on a jury. Okay, so
I've been that. I've been one.
Ah.
I have been one.
All right.
Because I know that justice is not just. You understand? I know justice is not just.
But,
so if they've called me, I don't even have to say I don't want to. What I do is they ask each individual.
Oh, of course, you can get.
So I explain to them, and they're, we don't want her. Yeah, I guess not, because, and this is like things that had over the years, like, you know, different scenarios, like, you know, me calling maybe the police for a particular situation, but they never came because they went somewhere else because something else was going on. Maybe something was considered more present, and they went to that location instead. So then I'm just sitting there with my situation, and that has been brought to an attention when, you know, at a hearing, a pre-hearing, you know, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm good. We don't want her," you know. So it's levels. It's levels to a lot of judge the jury. I'm sorry, the jury. You know, and selection of jurors.
I understand that, and I do agree. I just believe if we're not even on the jury, it's a done deal, whether you're innocent or not. If you're not even in the game, there's nothing you can say or do.
Right. That's true.
So,
no, you're right. You're right. You're 100% right. But it's just, I guess, some people feel, and I have felt. I won't say that I'll never do that. Okay. Maybe I won't say that I will never do that. But what I will say is that sometimes you just feel so defeated. Honestly feel defeated, and so you're like, man, you know, you guys are gonna rig this person anyway. You already got all these chopped up charges on this guy, and you're already doing this. Now murder, yeah, that's different. You know what I'm saying? And then this dude really did rape somebody, yeah, that's different. You know, but some of these things, you can just tell that some of these charges are chopped up, and they just want to send this individual. You know, in Ohio, they try their best to give every black man a felony. And let me tell you something, it is not just one. They want to make sure you got 3. They only get rid of 2. You still won't have a felony. in most cases. So with that being said, we just, like I said, we just got a lot of revision to do all the way down, all the way up.
Okay. Yeah, I don't disagree with that as far as from the revision standpoint, but where does it start? Where does the reform start at? That's the first question. Where does the reform start at? Do we hold our lawmakers, our Congressional Black Caucus members to the fire? Do we hold our local
NAACP and all of that?
NAACP to the fire? We just celebrated a 100-year anniversary, Akron.
I like to know all the things that they're really engulfed in right now. I like to know all the things that they're doing downtown. Like, they need to really, they may be doing a lot, but I think a lot of common people don't know that. So I think that we need to definitely have, the local leaders of West Side, whatever book, newspaper we have. They definitely need to make sure that they input what's going on with the NAACP, what's going on with all our black organizations, why, so we can know, so we can be back go back and become get a card from them. I want them to rep, because in recent years, in all honesty, and I'm being honest, I've talked to people and they're like, I ain't about to join them because they ain't done nothing for me. So that's big to say. I mean, I'm not trying to, this is my town too. I love it.
Okay.
But you got to put the truth right there. And if people are saying, what have they done for I've seen such this happen to them and this and happen to them, and nobody showed up. Even in my situation, I remember they had to end up calling Cleveland's chapter, and Cleveland called down to Akron. What was that?
Yeah. See, and let's talk about the black newspapers. We got the Reporter. What else?
The Reporter.
Okay.
And what is the West Side League? Is that a black?
No,
That's
no,
not
absolutely
black.
not.
Yeah, no, that's
No,
not. Okay.
that's a regional location.
Mm-hmm.
So the Reporter, which I love, the editor, Bill, and his brother Carlton, and I think I believe they're starting a digital format, or have started a digital format.
Awesome.
But I think it's programs like this that's really going to bring awareness to it. When we can reach the masses, because I don't know if the NAACP, they have their, what I call static ads that's always the same, come out, do this, that, and forth. But we don't know how to engage. I don't know if they've had a membership drive. I don't know when the last membership drive was.
Right.
And what it is.
I mean, great people though.
Yeah,
they're great people now. Don't get me. They're great people.
I would not be opposed to reaching out to the president, who I still believe is Judy Hill. I know she's about her business. I know that.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
We get caught up where you got a group of individuals trying to move a whole mountain.
Right.
And
it does take it takes more than just a few.
Exactly.
We got to come together as a community. It's in numbers. It's important to have numbers. Our people, we are so engulfed in that inner city syndrome. Have you ever heard of that?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so inner city syndrome. Hey, I don't know. I mean, I've asked people. Some people are like, I never heard of that.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, yeah, well, we got it. So
explain to the listeners.
So inner city syndrome is when, it's many cases of that. But I can just give you one. Kids come, a student, one of my students come into the classroom, and maybe his home is not where it should be, like financially, but this kid got on the latest Jordans. So the priorities is not where it should be. Why? Because of society and where they have deemed us, and so they say, well, my child's going to have this, but my light is off. That's one. That's one. I mean, but it's many different cases of inner city syndrome, and then just parents just trying to make it. The cluster that I'm at, and I wish I had the numbers, and I'm going to get the numbers. The cluster that I'm at, that I work at, the foster care. The number is huge. The number is huge. Like you would not believe how many people in our area foster kids. So therefore, that means where's the parents, the grandparents? They're either incarcerated, out here on drugs. They can't take care of their kids. So, and it's just nasty. So now as far as PTA meetings, we don't have parents coming to our PTA meetings. We need parents in our cluster. We need parents to come. If they're listening and they can hear this, tell your neighbor, whoever.
Absolutely.
Come to our PTA meetings. Come back into, because that's where it starts. That's where everything starts to bond and build that relationship. And then your kids know. My parents, they got to be held accountable. Parents got to be held accountable. Kids got to be held accountable. Our community got to be held accountable. We can't put it all on LeBron to save the world.
And just to dissect that a little further, the PTA is great, but we need parents at parent-teacher conferences.
That's right.
I know all my children's teachers. I attend the conferences. I should not leave the conference and see you at the club and you miss the conference.
And you miss the conference. Honestly, that's true. That's real talk. And don't have the grandma come in, she can barely walk, and she trying to get to all the classrooms to see what's going on with her great-grandbaby. Not just the grandkid, her great-grandbaby. She barely walking through the halls. Exactly I've seen that on too many occasions, and that's not fair to you. It's not fair to your children. It's definitely not fair to the grandma.
Yeah, I think once you get involved with your children's activities, and they say, well, who is he to say, hey, if I'm stinging you, I'm stinging you.
That's right, sting. I got 2 daughters coming up, and I went to their conferences. I wanted to be engaged and see what was going on with the kids, to make sure that they were on track, to make sure that they were going to graduate on time, to find out anything that they needed. The year before, they might have had library books or something that they owe money to. You need to know all those things. You don't wait till they get ready to graduate and now they owe $150 extra that you didn't even have you didn't even have the fees, the regular fees, and now you got to pay this extra money. So yeah, just gotta stay involved, y'all. That's all. Ain't nobody beating nobody up. We just telling it like it is. I see it every day.
Not to mention scholarship opportunities or advancement opportunities.
Oh my
that comes from it as well.
Man, we waste so much money at the clusters that I'm at. Kids don't get the scholarships, but yet you got a St. V. Now see, okay, I know we only got a little bit of time left. Let me say this real quick. You have the public schools that got all this funding, all this money for these kids. Okay, yep, you got to deal with a lot because we're not selective in the individuals that we get to place in our classroom. We don't get to say, well, we want Johnny and Sarah, but not,
Correct.
Okay, so and then you have St. V. Now they don't have they got scholarships, but the kids are taking those. So now the slim pickings is a private place.
Don't forget Hoban.
And Hoban. Okay, I'm just trying to say these private schools is slim pickings. And versus the public schools. We got all this money, you guys. We got a lot of money. Find out. Get involved. Go to your schools. Find out through the counselors what money is available for their kids.
Okay. Very good. Very good. And we are going to pretty much pick this back up here. Once again, this is just a start here. We'll be going live here in a couple of weeks. We'll be uploading this to the website and to our respective social media sites. You want to give me your social media information?
And my social media on Facebook, I am Kelley Williams-Bolar. On Instagram, I'm Kelley Williams-Bolar. And YouTube, guess what, y'all? I'm Kelley Williams-Bolar.
All right.
So I don't have any, a stage name yet. Maybe I will, maybe I don't know. But right now, I'm branding that name. So hey.
All right, you go with that. Man, let me think about who am I? Facebook, right now it's just Daron L, right? Daron. Regarding Instagram, it is D_Upscale, the number 1, D_Upscale, the number 1, and also DJ D Rizzle, Rizzo. And the same for Twitter. So D_Upscale 1 and DJ D Rizzle. And look for Upscale Media Group and Upscale Entertainment, which these particular programs and segments will be housed under. We thank you for listening today. Again, I'm Daron Wright, the co-host.
I am Kelley Williams-Bolar.
And we thank you for listening. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye.